Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited to have Peafrog here today. Thank you so much for coming.
No worries. Happy to
God.
be here.
Dude, I knew your name like day one of when I started my Sims journey. Like literally day one.
No.
Yeah.
When did you start doing content creation stuff?
I started
Sims.
January 14th, 2021.
Okay, yeah, I've been going for a little while then.
Yeah, so you were going for like a while at that point, and I just like your name stood out to me because I was like, oh, that's cool, that's funny, it's Frog. And then I started I worked very quickly at the Simmers Digest. Like quick would be would not be the right word. I was there for like 10 minutes maybe at best, and then we parted ways. But like I used to read the I think YouTube spotlights or something like that on the podcast, and like every week it was you and Renee that would always get recognized, and I was like, these names, they're easy to pronounce.
And maybe that's the reason why I do well, because people know how to say my name. It's really funny as well when I pop up into people's like Twitch streams who don't know me. For some reason people send me things off frogs. They'll send me anything that's like, hey, Kate, there's a thing with a frog on it. You should buy the thing with the frog on it. And I'm like, cute. But everybody calls me P.
Okay.
And occasionally I'll turn up on like a stream and it will say Peafrogsims and people will call me Frog. And it will be so weird. They're like, hey, Frog. And I'm like, oh. But I feel like maybe the fact that the words are pronounceable is in my favor, because it does stress me out when I'm trying to like talk about people on my TikTok or whatever and being like, hey, this person's done this cool thing. And I'm like, I don't know how you say their name though, because I've only ever seen it written down and it's very stressful.
Oh yeah, 100%. That was a huge problem I had. So I've talked very openly on this podcast of how I'm dyslexic and how no one truly thinks I know how people don't fully understand what that means. The Sims audience does, because a lot of us are dyslexic.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, right. This is another ones. Like we're at this point, it's not like one in a while anymore. It's a lot of us are dyslexic, and they're like, "Oh, you just can't read." I'm like, "No. I'm mesmerized looking at the word." So like I get in trouble at work now because I will think like I've just memorized with garage, but I get garage and garbage mixed up because it's so close.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like weird stuff like that. So but the thing is my brain doesn't know how to properly sound out a word. It does. It has no idea. So if I look at a word and I have no fucking idea what it is, I have to do the claps to try to figure it out. And then I'll sit there and I'll be like, I have no idea. So like if I have a like call with them, I will literally say, if I'm not sure the name, what is your name? And they'll be like this. And I'm like, and I literally have to syllable it and how my brain can read it. So yeah.
Are you then saying that Hip Hip Renee was an easy one for you to read?
Yeah, it was, because I literally I know, because in our podcast together, which if you haven't listened to it, please go listen to it. It was because I just saw Hip Renee.
Because no, she was Hi Preeny, and I swear to God, right? I knew Renee for quite a long time before I'd ever heard her speak, because we were both moderators on the same Discord server in like 2019, 2020. And at that point I didn't know her very well. I don't really think I'd really engaged with her content that much and stuff. We're really good friends now. But yeah, but no, she was like hi Preeny or whatever, and I was like, what the hell
did she I like that she literally said that in the podcast. I'm not that, so I like how that's a dig to you.
I don't think I'm the only one though.
I literally saw it as hip because it's like 3 words, right? So my brain, so as soon as my brain sees a word, it stops.
Renee broke it for me. Renee being there as, you know, Renee. No, it broke me.
Oh my god.
But this is why it's quite funny. My Discord name is still just Peafrog. So sometimes people try and tag me by putting Peafrogsims, because I'm Peafrogsims everywhere except Discord, where I'm just Peafrog, because I hadn't started my channel, and a friend when I started my channel was like, you should put Sims at the end so people know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if I'd just gone with Peafrog, I wouldn't have had any of the usernames that I do. So I'm glad that I put something at the end, but it does limit me somewhat to only playing
Yeah,
the Sims.
I mean, look at mine, Stassi J Sims 4. It kind of really limits me to, I guess I just do Sims 4 stuff. I don't. I do lots
Well,
of things.
I saw somebody on YouTube the other day that was PlayStation 3 like speed runs, and that was like the name of their channel. And now they're called PlayStation 4 speedruns, but all their branding says PlayStation 3 and like the URL says PlayStation 3. And I'm just like,
oh, that needs a
yeah.
quick rebrand. But anyways, Peafrog, thank you for
Hello.
coming. Why don't you start us off with a little bit about yourself and your Sims history?
Oh my god, we did all this chatting and I didn't even say anything.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Katie, aka Peafrog. I played The Sims since it came out, Sims 1. I don't remember how I ended up getting it, but I expect I got it as a present. I started playing it at my friend's house. And then started my journey from there and was very obsessed with it as a child. Sims 2 and 3 I did play, but didn't have as much contact with those ones because big difference between being 10 or 11 and now being, in my 30s. I've got a lot more of my own free time. But during my teen years, I was too busy. And then I got Sims 3 when I was at uni, and that was never going to happen, really, was it? I was never going to have time for that. So yeah, been playing it my whole life though, basically, as soon as it existed, and it's been a big part of my personality probably. In the back there, I started doing Sims content creation in 2019.
Oh wow.
Yeah, July 2019. Funnily enough, I was originally I'm very all over the place with my interests and stuff. I'm very neurospicy. I get very distracted, and I want to do everything. So when I first started doing kind of content stuff, I was making custom content, and I had a Tumblr blog, and I did a few things, and I was like trying to bring out a thing every week. And then I ended up chatting to somebody on Facebook, and they were like, you should join my Discord server and talk about YouTube because you said you wanted to do YouTube. And I was like, I don't know what Discord is. So I joined Discord, joined this person's server, and then started a YouTube channel, which I took very, very seriously from the beginning because I was like, I want to act like I've always been doing this. I don't want this. I know that obviously it can't be perfect from the start, but I want it to be like, if somebody finds this first video 5 years from now, I don't want to look like an idiot. Or if somebody finds this now, I want it to look like I've been doing this forever and I'm like an old hat at this. Needless to say, it's not that. You go
I was gonna say, is the first video still on your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, I've never taken anything down.
So the links are going to be below, kids. So we can watch. You guys can watch it.
What was my first video? The first video I filmed actually was the second one that I brought out.
Okay.
Because I'd recorded 2 before I brought them out, and the second one was better. So I thought I'm going to start strong, and then I'll bring the actual first one I filmed out second because I think the audio was a bit rubbish. I think I've messed up a bit because I didn't really know what I was doing. What am I talking about? Me?
Yeah, you're talking about you. You're talking about Sue. In 2019, you joined a Discord server and you wanted about YouTube.
Yeah, so I started doing YouTube, and then I started doing Twitch in November.
Okay.
And YouTube took a bit of a backseat, and I got very, very into Twitch. And then the next couple of years, doing lots and lots of 2020 doing lots of Twitch. Twitch was doing quite well during 2020, as you can imagine. And then 2021, I think I started a TikTok account just because I felt the need to take my username there.
Yeah.
I have a lot of usernames on things that I've never used before just in case.
Yep.
But then it wasn't until 2022 when I had a bit of a brainwave of an idea of something silly to do on TikTok, and I got to I was at like 200 followers or something just because I just had the account there and occasionally uploaded things and did silly things, but I didn't get it. Couldn't get my head around TikTok. I couldn't do the thing. And it was, of course, Hip Hip Renee who gave me lots of advice on that. She has been my TikTok guru of just being like, stop trying to over curate stuff, Katie. It's just not going to work. Just do it. Just do it. Just hold your phone to the computer screen. And I was like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, no. I have to do the whole thing through OBS, and then I have to add my intros. I have to do the whole edit through Premiere Pro. Oh God, I couldn't possibly. And then when I just started going, here's Sims as different types of cheese as a complete joke.
Yeah.
I kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say I blew up then, because I got to like a couple of thousand followers, which is very exciting. Or maybe like I went from like 400 to 800 in a matter of days, which was like, wow, that's really big. And then within a couple of weeks, I got to 10,000.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, I got to like 25,000. And then it all kind of dropped off, and I got a new job, and I got busy and didn't really think about it. And I was hoping to get to 50K by my birthday last year. And I was at like 48K for nearly an entire year because I just didn't have time to do anything. And I was like, because I started this new job, and basically I was making a lot of TikToks for other games for work, and I did not have it in me. Also, I will say, fell out of love with The Sims big time for a big chunk of last year. Just getting really pissed off with the bullshit, which I'm sure a lot of people can agree with. I've got a lot of friends at the moment who I only know through Sims who are not playing The Sims at all right now.
Yeah.
Because they've just pissed off. And I've kind of got back into it because I miss doing the content creation. I actually played The Sims the other day.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I did.
That's good.
I made a sim, and I started building her little house. With the new kits.
Okay. See, I have to ask this as a content creator to a content creator. Sometimes, do you ever just play The Sims for fun, or is everything you do always content creation?
I used to a lot have like kind of, my separate thing. But lately I've got into a lot of other games.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't actually play that many different games, I guess. I could list quite a few, but I would get very, very obsessed with one game like The Sims or Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
And just play that for months and months on end. So that was kind of the thing. But recently, because I've been working, in gaming, it's quite fun. I have heard about a lot of other games, and I bought a Switch last year, and so now I have Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
To occupy my time. So if you're wondering what I do, like what's my own gameplay, it's probably not on The Sims anyway. It's probably playing bit of Project Zomboid, Animal Crossing constantly. I also I had a bit of a thing over Christmas. I bought a gaming laptop on Black Friday. Me and my partner both bought one. It's like a bit of a present to ourselves.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that was cool, because I got my PC here that I got secondhand off a very good friend of mine who was very generous, because I was quite desperate at the time because my computer died and was like, oh, I can't do anything. I can't do work or content creation or anything. But I bought a lovely new laptop, which is very cute.
Hey.
And I decided to go and play all my unplayed Steam games over Christmas.
Very nice.
Because, yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go. I'm talking my absolute head off.
No, you're doing great. No, I like that. I like that. You got to give other games an opportunity. I wish I had the balls to do it. Like it's not like I have the Disney Dreamlight Valley, whatever the fuck it's called, game, because my fiance downloaded it for me before it became a freemium game earlier this year. And
is it free now?
It's a freemium game. So yeah, it's free, but like you have to like buy shit. It's that kind of like turned me off the game really quick, because I'm a freemium person that I'd be like, oh, the game is free. Oh, but I have to wait like 48 hours for bullshit. And I don't pay. No. Someone who was like, oh, $2 is nothing. Like $2 is something. Like, I'll tell you that. So
no, I would 100% rather be like, this game, like Animal Crossing, this game is like 50 quid. You're like, geez, that's a lot of money for a game. But I haven't got bored of it yet.
Yeah.
And I've been playing it nearly every day for like 6 months.
Peafrog. So Sims 4 expansions are $60 here.
Yeah, I feel sick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's disgusting. Anyways, long story short, I wish I could branch off. Like the thing is, when it comes like to like my personal gaming, I like to be creative. I have to be
Yes.
the one doing something. I can't just sit there and play a shooting game or have running around and doing like the time tasks of being like, hey, like go get Goofy's bananas or something, and it'll take like 18 hours. It's like I can't stand those because I lose interest. And being dyslexic, I can't handle anything that has anything to do with reading because I can't read
Fair.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So like The Sims to me has always just kind of been like my safe haven of like I can tell the game what to do and there's barely any reading involved, where I
Good.
can like
Yeah,
better
yeah.
understand what's happening. But like as we were talking about before the podcast, there are more life simulation games coming out into the future. I'm really excited to see them shake up the market because I think right now, like The Sims is like Scrooge McDuck. Like
The
he
Sims
thinks
needs competition. They
it
have a
needs competition
monopoly
because they haven't
on the
had competition
yeah.
in 20-23 years. Let's
Yeah,
be
it's
honest. Like
bizarre.
for there's nothing. Like I like as I'm a lifetime Sim player. I've been playing now Sims for 20 years
Yeah.
and I'll be 30 this year. So take the math, kids. That is 2/3 of my life that The Sims has held a presence on me. There is nothing in my entire life that I've done for 20 years consistently besides
No,
eating
no.
and sleeping. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm the same.
Yeah. But so like The Sims 1 was groundbreaking. Like
Oh
that,
my God.
nothing like that existed way
No.
back. Because like the internet was a baby. Like there
Yeah.
was nothing. And then Sims 2, even more legendary. Like I remember being able to actually change facial features in The Sims 2. Like that was fucking legendary. It was amazing.
The jump between The Sims 1 and The
When in The
Sims
Sims
2 was
2 was
really
massive.
crazy.
Like there's I will die on this hill. There has never been an iteration between Sims 1 that Sims 2 has changed as much.
No.
No.
And to be fair, Sims 3
Mhm.
added a lot of things.
Yes.
It was a good progression. So you had Sims 1 to Sims 2,
Yeah.
things that were added were like swatches. Because in
Yeah.
Sims 1, there's only one swatch of every object.
Exactly.
Which is very stressful. Especially if you go back and play it now. It's quite like, oh God, it doesn't change. Okay, well, we'll just have that. And then yeah, Sims 2 added swatches, very much like The Sims 4. But in The Sims 3, you have the freaking color wheel and the create pattern stuff.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was so good. My problem with The Sims 3 is that I hate what The Sims look like.
They look fucking petrifying. They're
I can't
literally
stand
what
the
night
graphics.
fuel. Yeah,
and it upsets me because I feel like it's probably a better game.
It's for sure a better game.
But I don't like it. I don't like looking at it.
You
So
don't
I'm like,
you don't think the Sims team's like, let's make these Sims really ugly and let's make Sims 4 really pretty so people will want to jump ship and play with pretty Sims? You don't think that ever crossed their mind? Of course
I
it did.
think that when they were making The Sims 4, it did, but I don't think that they made The Sims 3 deliberately ugly.
No, I don't think they did, but I think that was a huge discussion talk for Sims 4 to make sure everything looks pretty so everyone will jump ship and not have creepy shadow faces.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at some Sims 3 machinimas though, that people, because a lot of people use The Sims 3 to make machinimas now, but partly because it's just so much more choice. That people's Sims look beautiful, and I don't know how they do it, but it's just shit ton of mods and CC to make
I have
it
to assume masks, CC, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I have to assume that because I'm just trying to think. I don't think because I do a lot of voiceover. Like I do a lot of voice acting in the machinima community. It's been a minute since I've seen a Sims 3 project. Like it's been a hot minute. A lot of them right now, because when I started, because I've done 57 voiceover roles for machinimas, and I got a whole resume and all that great stuff. And now I'm on IMDb for The Reaper. So
hey, that's cool.
Go check that out, kiddos.
I'm on IMDb actually.
Fuck yeah! What are you on IMDb for?
It says my real name, so I probably shouldn't say. But unfortunately, I'm down as crew, I think. Because I was a puppeteer, and IMDb doesn't understand how to credit puppeteers. But it was a weird little short film about a mermaid, and I puppeteered the mermaid with my partner.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that is the coolest shit I've ever seen. That's
I've
fucking
done the
awesome.
weirdest shit in the world. Like people will just randomly talk about a subject, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've puppeted an ugly mermaid in a short film once. And I stayed in a house with this actress who was her name's Jess Gunnings.
Okay.
She was lovely. She was one of the
Oh,
nicest people I've ever met. And she was really like, because we were kind of like, ooh, you work in telly. Because we'd just done a lot of theatre stuff, to be honest. It was one of the first film kind of projects that I'd worked on, which I haven't done very much.
that's
Um,
that's awesome.
but
But
yeah, lots of weird shit.
lots of weird shit. But anyway, so I do a lot of voiceover work.
Cool.
And a lot of it when I started a couple years ago was a lot of Sims 2 projects. Like everything was basically Sims 2. By now, I feel like everything's kind of fizzled to Sims 4.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of machinimas at all?
I'm I'm aware of a lot of them.
Okay.
I'm in Ward University.
Oh shit, I didn't know
I'm
that.
not in it yet.
Oh, okay.
No. Hang on. When did the last episode come out? Is it coming out tonight? Obviously, we're recording this at a different time. I think the next episode is coming out tonight, and I think I'm in that one. I think I have one line, and then in the following episode, I have a lot more lines, but they haven't come out yet.
I like how you're looking at me. I'm like, dude, I don't know when it's coming out, but if it's out, please go check out Peafrog.
It will be out now.
It's gonna be out by now.
Yeah,
please go check that out. I mean, also, I guess because this is coming out in October, don't know what in October, but I have to assume the beginning of how this will come through. Are you doing anything? I know it's far out, but like, are you doing anything for spooky season?
Oh, I don't know. I work very I don't work very far in advance, even though I have ideas really far in advance.
Okay.
But I don't work on them until it's totally the last minute and I'm panicking and everything's terrible. So
okay, what about
do
you have any summer things that you're working on currently?
No.
Okay,
No.
I can't. How about May? Okay, that's literally like starts tomorrow.
Yeah, no idea. I don't know what's going up on TikTok tonight.
What?
Haven't made it yet. Yeah. I make them like on the day. But this is this is why I like TikTok. It's very, very, it can be very low effort and very immediate. So yes. The most successful videos that I have on TikTok are like news.
Yeah.
Which top tip for anybody who wants to get into Sims TikTok, tell people what's happening on Twitter, because people who go on TikTok don't like Twitter. Yeah, they don't go on it. They're too young. I'm elderly for TikTok, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be 32 in June, so like I'm like there was that meme, that trend going around on TikTok that was like, if you're on the older side of TikTok, you know, born in like the late 90s, and I was like, fuck off, because I was born in the very early 90s.
Yeah, you would have been 95. No, sorry, you would have been 91. 91. Yeah.
1991. Exciting year. I mean, I don't know what happened in that year. I missed half of it as well because my birthday's in June. Anyway, what am I talking about?
You're talking about TikTok.
Yeah, right. This is what. Yeah, you saying we're not going to edit this, and I'm like, oh. I'm not going to stay on track for more than about 30 seconds. I hope you know this. So,
well, that is the beauty of this podcast, as everybody knows, it's uncut, kids. That's how we keep the magic alive. So, anyways, TikTok. So, advice for anyone who's wanting to start. Sorry, my cat's like going insane down here.
I was like, what are you doing?
My cat just like never acknowledges my existence unless my fiance is not home, which he's not home today.
Oh,
so she's like, where's my dad? Excuse me. Hold on, let's see if I can.
I don't have any pets anymore. My hamster died a couple of years ago and we haven't bought another one.
Look at this.
I'm sad about it.
This little shit. Hey. Hello. Hi, Cora. Look. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. This is how I know she's like manic, because she never lets me do this. Anyways, okay, so TikTok advice.
Oh yeah. Well, number one, film the screen.
Yeah.
Don't fuck about. Film the screen with your phone. That's what Hip Hip Renee does, and it's what she told me to do. And as soon as I started doing that, I started becoming reasonably successful. and she's doing very well, and that's what she does. It's a bit of a faff sometimes, but it doesn't have, get things out quick. And if you're doing literally anything that happens on Twitter that's like they will change. Twitter is the main platform for like finding things out about The Sims, I would say, aside from like their proper website and stuff. So when The Sims changes their Twitter banner to something, you're like, oh, new things are coming. Okay. And that's the kind of thing you can make a TikTok about that most of the people on TikTok won't know. You can't call it Twitter though. You got to call it the Bird app, because TikTok doesn't like other platforms being mentioned.
That's true. Neither does Twitter.
No, but right. The really fascinating thing about is the difference between a Chinese company and an American company, which I found fascinating, right? Is that the American companies like Twitter and Facebook and stuff won't tell you, and until recently when Twitter started saying all this more shit, but generally they don't tell you not to share things of other platforms. Yes. But it is quite clear that things get held back in the algorithm if you're promoting a different platform. Yes. And you kind of get that. You're like, okay, you're limiting this deliberately because you don't want me trying to get people to go over to YouTube or whatever. People have noticed that for years, and having to put their YouTube links in a second tweet, and the first tweet just being an image of the thumbnail, but it's the kind of thing that kind of goes unspoken. Whereas TikTok is very much kind of like, nope, don't do that. We don't like it. And so you say, okay, we'll learn. Like they don't like saying about killing, so you say unalive. That's where a lot of these things have kind of come from. TikTok talking about unaliving Sims. Oh my god, I could totally unalive myself right now. Like that. That is the kind of weird shit that people say.
I want that on a shirt for the rest of my life that I'm going to wear like every there probably podcast. Is one. I'm sure there. That is Jesus.
But this is the hilarious thing, is that TikTok are so upfront about the censorship that you can work around it. Whereas when you don't know what the censorship is, it drives you nuts because you can't quite figure out how to make it work. And I think that is very telling of the difference between an American company and a Chinese company, where the Chinese are very much like, this is what you're not allowed to do. And you go, okay, I'll make a workaround. Whereas America's like, no, you're allowed to do everything.
You're allowed to do everything. It's live the American dream. Yeah. But until it goes against our free right speeches, and then no.
But they're sneaky. Sneaky in their things. So, but we don't need to get all into that shit. But I do find it very interesting, and I don't know. A lot of people really fucking hate TikTok, and I feel like it's got a very bad rep. And I'm not like I kind of realize, like, I can see why in a way, but I really don't think it's any worse than any of the rest of them. No. And I just think it's a bit daft, really. And for me, the way that I create content, it works for my brain. The fact is, I've thought about this a lot. I started off trying to do YouTube, but I don't quite have the concentration for YouTube, I guess. My style is very kind of chaotic and just kind of chucking anything at, like, if you watch my early YouTube videos, there is absolutely no link between any of them. I'm just doing random shit that I felt like doing. That is the sort of thing you can do on TikTok for one video. And maybe you'll do a follow-up to it. But when you do it on YouTube, you got to do half an hour or like 10 minutes at least of one thing. And people aren't really expecting it necessarily. It's not really the vibe. You have to, you're looking for things on YouTube. You want to see, also just things as simple as, you don't have to do a bloody title and thumbnail on TikTok. Nope. You just scroll to a bit of the video and you write what it is on the front, and that's the cover, and that's done. And honestly, when I've made a few YouTube videos recently, and I've gone, oh my god, this is so much work. I forgot how annoying this was. And I was all very much like, yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be like James Turner. I want to be cool. And I'm just like, oh nah, mate, not into it. But I am starting to try and put my TikToks on shorts. Yeah, because they've started letting you monetize shorts, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could get a few extra pennies from YouTube, because I've only ever had one payout from YouTube ever,
Oh my
because you have
God.
to reach a threshold.
How much was it? How much was your how long did it take you and what did you get paid?
Oh, I think it's like just under 100 USD or something. So it was like £60 that I got, which is about the full price of Call of Duty for everybody's, Animal Crossing is about 60 quid when it came out.
Mhm.
No, it can't have been. It can't have been because that would be
100
$100. It
100
could be
US
$100.
USD would probably be about 80. I think that sounds about right. Actually, you
Yeah,
know what? Let's do a quick little
figure this shit out.
Google. Let's do a
Yeah,
quick
do it.
what did we do before Google? I guess we were just always incorrect. We just had no one to like always fact check you.
Well,
100
I've
US.
realized this recently because me and my dad used to have long conversations when we watched films about who somebody was. Like, who's that guy? I know that guy. My dad's really good at faces. I'm quite good at voices. We together, we're very good at pinning down who a person is. Like, and yeah, I love doing it when I'm watching a film. I'm like, who's that guy? Oh yeah, that
Wait,
guy's
that's this
voice.
guy. He was in this project.
Yeah,
And to answer your question, this
Oh.
morning, 100 US dollars for turning that into quid would be 79.53.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exchange rate has changed quite a lot since I actually got my payout, though. It's been all over the place. So I don't know how. Anyway, I got about 62, 63 pounds or something. I don't know what I don't know if they took a big old chunk of that.
I could see it.
I don't have to do the whole. There's some places in the world where they have this stupid tax thing where they take a huge chunk off you.
Yeah.
But we have like a special arrangement with the USA, so we don't have to do that. But I don't know any of it. But yeah, I got 60 quid and it took about a year.
Mm-hmm.
But bear in mind, I only uploaded about 3 videos in that time.
Okay.
Because nearly all of the money that I've ever got from YouTube is from one video, and that is my 100 baby challenge tips video that has been there since February 2020.
Yeah, I literally saw it has like 34,000 views.
Which is ridiculous as well, because that's like a medium good video on TikTok as well. And I know they're only like a minute long, so obviously it's not the same. Plus, views are counted very differently on these different platforms. So, but like the most popular TikTok I've got has 2 million views. And it's shite, and it really bothers me. It's a really shit one. So there's this website where you can you can go on there and you can sign up to make a video based on a trend or a sound that they've got that somebody is trying to make big, and they pay you. If you get 1,000 views on it, they'll give you like a $5. And it's like, okay, cool. So I got $5 for that video, and before I was monetized on TikTok, especially, that was like, oh yeah. I mean, let's be honest, you don't get much. Like anybody who's there thinking they want to start content creation and think they're going to get a lot of money, you don't get very much money from any of these places, apart from potentially Twitch, but that is literally only because it is people directly giving you their money.
Yeah, they're literally, or Patreon, where they're literally paying you out of pocket.
And honestly, Twitch takes such a huge chunk, and they're being such assholes at the moment that I am not. People have, I think, I'm sure, have been wondering. Probably not all the people on who are listening to this who just know you, but like my friends have probably been wondering why I haven't been streaming on Twitch. I don't think I'm that famous, but yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that it's an anxiety-inducing nightmare, even though I've worked as an actor for many years, streaming is stressful as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Very different to getting on stage as well. This is also why I don't like bands. I don't like having an interaction with the audience where they can talk to you. It's really stressful because you don't know what they're going to do. When you're on stage in a play, you're pretty sure they're not going to start shouting shit.
Yeah.
You just do the thing.
You just do the thing and you get off. I totally got you. Yeah. I've stayed away from Twitch forever because everyone keeps.
I do love it though. I miss it, but but they've turned into assholes. The whole company has just they've really annoyed me recently with bringing in the ads things, and genuinely it's making me consider trying another streaming platform. I tried streaming on TikTok, but it's just
yeah. I kind of feel like TikTok is not the place for streaming because TikTok is just so short form content that.
Well, no. I mean, you there's TikTok Live is a really big thing. and they want
Really?
you to do it. And a lot of people I know have become very successful through doing TikTok live. But for me, it's never really, I don't know, it's never really worked.
Yeah.
Like it's never really gelled with the thing. But I have considered going on Kick or something at some point, but I think that if I'm going to start streaming, it's going to have to be incredibly sporadic. I was doing 3 nights a week for years,
Jesus.
and it was too much. And I mean, I didn't have much else to do. I was basically
Yeah.
employed at that point, and it was when I was really, I was honestly, for when everything happened a few years ago, the theatre industry was a bit of a stressful place to be. So
Mhm.
I wasn't super excited about what the hell was going to happen in my future. And, bear in mind, people who work in theatre or the arts in general have probably been planning on doing that since they're about 5 years old. So they have no other fucking plan.
Yeah.
That's me. I had no backups. I'm like, if I don't work in this industry, I literally don't know what I'm doing. I have no other plans. But I'd already been doing the content creation thing for a while, and I was really enjoying it. And I was like, I didn't really give it a go in the same way that some people, especially during 2020, totally went, yeah, like I'm gonna become partnered now. I'm gonna stream 7 nights a week. I'm gonna go. I I don't have the stamina for that.
No.
But and also I've always thought it was very, very important to diversify my portfolio, as it were, and not put all my eggs in one basket. So I was basically, I've always been making content on too many platforms at once, which is why
Mhm.
until like last year, none of them really took off because I was spreading myself too thin. But I thought it was really important to do that. Um, so that I didn't, number one, have one audience in just one platform.
Mhm.
Because, like Mixer
Yeah.
went. Imagine if like the people who were like really big on Mixer and did no other platforms,
Yeah.
trying to restart on another platform, convincing people to move somewhere else,
Mhm.
finding an audience. Oh God, stresses me out. And I don't think YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon, but I have been, very mindful of. And also, what if you get banned for no
Yeah.
reason? What if something happens out of your control, or you get hacked? No, 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 no. So yeah, I put myself in a lot of places, and I was hoping that that could maybe become something. I wasn't really sure like what I was aiming for, and it didn't feel like it was really going anywhere.
Mhm.
But through doing the content creation, I managed to get this job doing social media management for other games, and that was kind of the tick. Like, aha, that's it. Like, because I wanted to have a job doing content creation,
Mhm.
and I did. It just
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily my content. And do you know what's great about doing content for other people as their social media manager is they
What?
pay you.
Yeah.
Like that's really nice. You get paid and to do it, and obviously there is obviously pressure, as you
Mhm.
know,
Oh yeah.
to deliver and to get followers and to make things successful. And because if somebody's paying you to promote their stuff, you kind of
Mhm.
need to show something for it. But it's not as difficult as going on Twitch and saying, hey, my goal for today is to get 5 subs, because that's actually only £12. Like that's enough for like 3 Starbucks coffees, I guess. I don't know why I even said that. I don't
That's a
drink coffee.
that's okay.
It just seems like one of those things that people, like
Yeah.
people like quantify things in Starbucks. But I've
Oh,
not.
I
I
see. For that's American. For us, for Tim, we do Timmings here.
We have a Tim Hortons now. I've never
There
been
you
there.
go.
There's one in my hometown, which is not that far from me, which I drove past quite a lot, and I'm like, hey.
I'd go in there. It's different. So the UK Tim Hortons is different than the American Tim Hortons versus different than the Canadian Tim Hortons. They're all
Okay.
different. But yeah,
I
like
hate
so
coffee though.
but their
It's
hot
annoying.
chocolate is so good.
Okay,
Like
I'll have to. I think
yeah,
they've got a drive-through, so I might have to go through there
yeah.
someday when I'm going
Fuck
shopping.
Tim
It's
Hortons
near Asda.
coffee. Fuck Tim Hortons coffee. Tim Hortons coffee is fucking gross. Even
Oh, okay.
Canadians know it's fucking gross. It's
Oh,
disgusting. It's
that's
like it
disappointing.
literally tastes like sewer water. I will die on that hill. Tim Hortons coffee is gross. Tim Hortons hot chocolate is the best hot chocolate out there. And all it is disgusting powder and like old gross water. And that's the two things that put it together. But the two grossness cancel each other out and make it fucking good. Because like everybody, like if you're like a youth in Canada growing up, you usually work at Tim Hortons. Like they hire
I
you.
see.
Because I worked, everyone I know has worked at like Tim Hortons. So I was a baker for a
Oh.
year while I was going through school through culinary. So I just figured it would be like a life lesson kind of idea. It also worked really well with my schedule that I could, because like what people don't understand with culinary school, it starts at 2 a.m.
What?
Yeah, because especially if you're doing in your bread years, yeah, you have to get up. Your class starts at 2.
This is so bizarre to me. I'm the shittest cook anybody has ever met.
Yeah, because you gotta make your bread. You gotta let it rise. You gotta cook it. Say service starts at 5 a.m, which most places do for breakfast. You gotta have your bread made. It's 2 a.m. So that's how they would literally.
Are you gonna do that
for what? For breakfast service?
to get up at 2?
Yeah, I had a car back then, so I'd get up at 1:30, go. My class would be from 2 to 7 a.m. I'd go to sleep. This was actually more the time when I worked at overnights at McDonald's. I would sleep, class,
I worked at McDonald's as well.
Fuck yeah. I loved working at McDonald's.
I did not.
I see people have had such a negative experience. I want to say that it's got to be McDonald's Canada that makes like you just learn. There are organizing tips that I learned when I worked at McDonald's 10 years ago that I still use in my day to day of like how to keep stuff organized.
If we're talking bizarre shit Katie's done, when you worked at McDonald's, were you aware of a year? I think it was a yearly or like bi-yearly or whatever. Bi-yearly? Biannual? Yeah. Competition. It was a singing competition, a worldwide singing competition for McDonald's employees. Were you aware of this?
No, but I feel like the story is that you did.
I was aware. And I went to the UK final of The Voice of McDonald's, and I have a trophy with the McDonald's logo on it that says UK finalist.
Okay, so like you won a trophy. Okay, so what if you came first place? What do you win? McDonald's for a lifetime?
No. If you came first, you were then through to the Northern European final, which was on the same day in the same building. So we watched that too. And the girl who won the UK final, God, I was so pissed off. I was like 18, working at McDonald's, training to like I was doing performing arts at uni. No, I was when I was on the musical theatre degree, I think. Jesus or maybe Christ. I hadn't started yet. Anyway, I quit my musical theatre degree, started theatre design. Don't worry about it. So I went to the UK final in London, 5-star hotel, all paid for. And you were allowed to bring one guest with you. So I brought my boyfriend at the time, and we had a great time. And we went to see We Will Rock You. And my boss gave us £75 as a little treat, just like, treat yourself while you're in London. And I went, thanks very much. We're going to go and see a show. My boss was really lovely. He was like a franchise owner. He owns all the ones in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally I'm like, wait, there he is. He just owns every McDonald's. Anyway, God, I go on tangents. So the UK final, if you won the UK one, you went to the Northern European final, which was on the same day at the same time. And the person who won that went to the world final, which was in Disneyland, Florida.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I got like a 2-week trip. No, not Disneyland. Disney World, isn't it?
Yeah, Disney World's in Florida.
You got like a 2-week trip to Disney World. And if you won, the prize was like an insane amount of money. It was like 100 grand or something. Absolutely mad. I don't know. And honestly, the person who won the UK one really, really pissed me off not because I didn't win. I was okay with not winning. There were other people there who I thought were probably more valid winning than I was. Mm-hmm. There was a guy who'd moved from Poland, and he'd worked in the kitchens for like 10 years and was trying to get off the ground as a singer-songwriter. And he was awesome. And he didn't win. There was just like privileged people don't work at McDonald's. So like there were a lot of people there who like really could have done with a leg up, and people who were like, man, you're good and you should do well. So the girl who fucking won, oh, this pissed me off. She was Welsh, but she had an English accent, which if you're from the UK, you might be familiar with what that means, which means she went to private school in England, but she was Welsh. So she didn't sound Welsh at all, but she was. I went to the Royal Conservatoire of Wales for the drama school thing. So I know a lot of very, very posh Welsh people who sound like they're English, and it's off-putting. Anyway, She worked in the office because her dad owned a franchise. And there was a question that we all got asked, like, what's the biggest audience of people you've ever performed to? And I was like, oh, I performed in front of 700 people when I was 16, 2 years ago, because I was Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz at my local theatre. And this girl rocks up and it's like, oh, well, probably when I sang the Welsh national anthem at the rugby last year, at the Cardiff International Stadium. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, you don't work at McDonald's. Like, we've got people over here flipping burgers, and I'm the person going, hello, would you like to make that a medium meal or a large meal? And is that eating it or taking away? And then she's there like, I work in the office because my dad owns 4 McDonald's. And then she sang unaccompanied, which obviously there's no problem with that. She was just really smug. I'm just saying, she was just really fucking smug. And obviously insanely rich.
Yeah.
And she sang Summertime, I think, unaccompanied, which was just, it was just so pretentious. And yeah, but basically all the rest of us were there were like just really scummy people, really working class scummy people from all over, you know. I was there from the West Country, and there was a girl from Birmingham there, and we're all just like, yeah, all right, mate. Like, we had free drinks. We had a meal with like the CEO of McDonald's and stuff afterwards, and we and they were like, oh yeah, there's free drinks, and we were asking for like cocktails, and they were like, no, it's just wine. And we were like, okay, we'll have loads of wine then. And because we were just like, this is such an awesome opportunity to have a 5-star. None of us had done that before. None of us had been to a 5-star hotel. It was amazing.
What is the drinking age over there?
18.
Okay. That's, I just wanted to confirm that if they're giving children wine, I just needed to know what the drinking age was to make it feel a little bit better.
No, we were all 18, and you had to be over 18 for it. So some people were like in their 20s and stuff. One guy was like in his 30s. Honestly, it was bullshit. That girl shouldn't have won. The people who were the judges were like the top people of McDonald's in London, and it was like, eh. And they were like, oh, we just thought you were so good. And it was like, yeah, of course she's good. She's talking about our record deal. Like, she's a professional, and she occasionally works in the office for her dad. This is not even. But luckily she didn't win the Northern European one, and a nice girl from, I think, Iceland won. And so fuck that girl. Wherever she is. I don't know what her name is. I doubt I'll ever speak to her ever again in my life. But she was a bitch, and we all disliked her even before she won. Yeah,
that has to be the fucking best story I've ever heard on this podcast. I have heard a lot of things, a lot. This takes the cake, my friend.
I'll see if I can top that with anything else weird I have.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I have so many questions. I think I got to keep it short because we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up shortly. So
quick fire.
Okay, so what song did you sing?
I sang Astonishing from Little Women the Musical, which is a bit of an obscure one.
That's the most British shit I've ever heard. I'm sorry. It's American
though.
I know, but still very British. Okay.
It's got a nice line in it about being it says, I may be small, but I've got giant plans to shine as brightly as the sun. And as a very, very short queen, I take those words on.
Okay, next question.
It's a nice big belt number. I'm a musical theatre bitch, so you know.
How tall are you?
4'11"-ish.
Okay, I'm 5 foot. Well, I'm just 5 foot. So, girl, high five for Shark Queens.
Hey!
Okay. So how many people were there with you? Like, because I know you got a trophy, but like, did everybody get a trophy if they came?
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't do first, second, third, which is a bit sad. They just did first.
Okay, so they just did first. But how many people were actually with you?
There were like 6 people in the competition, like who were like entering, I think. And everybody had brought like a friend or a boyfriend along and stuff.
Okay. And last but not least, for anyone who's listening to this that works at McDonald's currently, how do you get involved in this if this still exists?
Is it still a thing?
I've never heard about this until now. So I want to say this is like a UK thing, not like a Canada thing or America thing.
It was worldwide because there were people from all over Europe.
That's Europe though.
No, but yeah, but no, it was a worldwide thing because we were going to the final in Florida where we'd compete against the Asian winners and the North American winners.
Okay, so if it still exists, how do you register or find out about it? Because I worked at McDonald's, there was nothing ever. It was never talked about. Ever.
I think our boss made us very aware of it because it was a bit of a thing for my local McDonald's. We were quite near the like local like sixth form college, like I guess the equivalent is like high school, 16 to 18-year-olds, where there were an awful lot of performing arts students. It was quite a good performing arts course. It was quite like well known. So lots of people from lots of kind of local areas went to that course. And all of the front people, all of the people like who did the till work were all from that course.
Okay.
Whether or not they'd left or not, it was where you did your part-time work if you were doing performing arts at that college. And so I think that probably the boss knew that an awful lot of people, although no, around in like an email thing or like a work thing, because I remember that nobody else from my thing wanted to enter, and I heard them. They were like, "Oh no, there's no. There's so many people entering. I don't even see the point." And I made my video. I was like, "Well, I made my video," and because I think a lot of people went, "Oh, there's no point," they didn't end up getting in the final, and I did. So it is. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Maybe it was only a one-time thing that they ever did in like 2009. But
okay. Well, if anyone works at McDonald's currently and listening to this podcast, I want you to go to your manager, talk about this competition, and let me know what they say. Because I can't imagine going out to and be like, "Hey, can I enter the McDonald's singing competition?" And they'd be like, "Yo, you're still drunk from last night. Go home."
Dude,
like,
right, okay. No. I've just Googled it. Okay. The Voice of McDonald's is a worldwide contest to discover, recognize, and reward the most talented singers among the more than 1.7 million employees working in McDonald's restaurants. From a branding perspective, it's a nice combination of employer branding, employee motivation, and public relation. And this is on the soundbrandingblog.com from 2012. So it might not have happened in the last 10 years, but here we go. Somebody in 2022 says, does anyone know about the Voice of McDonald's singing competition that McDonald's used to run? So I don't think
it's not new. Oh, that's sad.
It was
that could be a whole thing. That could be like a fucking Peacock show or something.
I know.
McDonald's, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, they didn't film any of it as well. Like
that's what they could do. They could start filming it and be trying to
even for like the internal like thing, like nobody got to see it. I just came home and was like, "Do you win?" I was like, "No."
See, McDonald's, call me up. I'll help. I'll get you started as a queen that loves your nuggets. I will help you for free. Just call me up. I'm a Big Mac girl. See, I'm a nuggets girl. Like literally for my wedding, my bridesmaids are making me a nugget cake of like all like like you've seen it online where they get like 100 nuggets and they just like turn around and turn it into a cake.
Oh, lovely.
That because I love McDonald's. Like I have like that's my shit. I don't give a shit about any other fast food. I just love McDonald's.
Yeah, no, McDonald's is my favorite fast food. This is when I got a job at McDonald's, I was like, if I'm gonna work at a fucking fast food place, it's gonna be the one that number one, the one I like the most, but two, the fucking cheapest one. McDonald's is the cheapest. And if I'm gonna get a discount at the cheapest one, yes. It used to be £1.50 to get my meal when I was working there.
Fuck, I used to get so like I remember doing like I don't know if in the UK, but remember when there used to be like 99-cent menu shit and all that good stuff. Yeah. Now it's like $2.19 for a sausage McMuffin. So I used to get a double sausage McMuffin with bacon and 2 hash browns for $2. Oh, right? Now that would cost me $18 plus like tax. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just sad to not have a discount anymore, but I wouldn't trade it for having to work.
I agree. I speak so highly of it when I'm younger, but I'm old now and I don't want to put up with bullshit because you just be working with the Utes, right? And like, not that I have nothing against the Utes.
I was the Ute, so I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, because like we were the Utes back then. Yeah, if we were, imagine now working with the Utes.
All my managers were younger than me. It was mental.
Interesting.
Because I worked there for a couple of years, but part-time on and off because I was going to uni and then coming back and working at McDonald's during my break.
Yeah, like if you're like between like 15, I don't know the word. I don't know how old you can start working in the UK, but like 15.
16 generally.
Okay, yeah. For us, it's between 14 and 15. Some places it just depends. So like 15 to 20, like that's usually like the age range for like people. But like someone who's going into their 30s coming in, that wasn't like an old morning lady, which makes sense to anybody who's ever worked at McDonald's, knows that the morning ladies were fucking old as hell and the biggest bitches you'd ever fucking see. There's no in between. Because like I was, as an overnight manager, I always had the young crew, and then like
You were a manager?
I was an overnight manager.
Oh my
yeah.
God, you committed. You really, I was shit.
Oh my God,
I was awful.
Oh, I made money because I was a manager, so I got a premium, and I worked overnight, so I got an additional premium. Put myself through college that way.
Whoa, no, no, I am one of those awful people who is like, I won't. I'll be reasonably humble, but I'm going to say this. I'm very talented at creative things. Yes. I'm very good at that sort of shit. But if anybody's wondering, like, oh my God, you can do everything. No, I can't. I can't carry things without dropping them. I can't remember short lists of things. I can't cook basic things without going wrong or completely forgetting how to do things. I've had panic attacks making a baked potato, okay? I cannot do everything. I can only do things that are basically completely useless. So you want me to write and sing you a little song? Great, but that's not it's not useful for fucking anyone. So yeah, anytime that I've been in my life where I've been like, I need a normal job, stat, because I need some money, so I'll work as a waitress or work as a barmaid. I'm shit. I'm so shit. And I hate it because people are just looking at me like, you're seriously the stupidest person I've ever fucking met. You cannot even do this super basic shit. And I'm like, no, I can't do this basic shit. I can do something. I'll make you a puppet tomorrow, but I can't do this.
I can't do this basic shit, but I'll make you a puppet tomorrow. Again, these are like classic one-liners that I could like, I need on like t-shirts. Hey, I got it. Like not everybody can do every task, and that's okay. That's why there's some people that can. And then there's some people that are just kind of more on the creative side. And I kind of wish
it's really difficult though when you need work.
Yeah, I kind of wish
creative jobs are hard to get.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of wish there was more job opportunities for the creative side where you didn't have to do like soul sucking work so you're able to do your creative stuff. But Peafrog, we have to go. No, we don't have to go. But we have to wrap up really soon.
Wrap.
We gotta wrap it up. Before I wrap it up, I got a couple more questions. So I know you have a lot of, you know, like fun like TikTok series that you like to make videos of, and I know YouTube. So what is your favorite TikTok series that you like to make?
I don't know. I think I like my I do the fairy tale Too Many Toddlers, which I've now turned into fairy tale Too Many Tykes. And it's a let's play, and I think that's my favorite one to do. Because it's just 8 Sims on a lot and it's just crazy. But I do quite enjoy, I do some kind of weird building things, like I was building a fridge house for over a year because I just did not finish it. But I finally finished it actually. But filming build videos is annoying. I really like doing. I like filming cast videos, but I haven't done it for ages. I don't know. My brain doesn't stay focused for very long. So basically, if I start doing a series again, it's usually because somebody's gone, where did that go? And I go, oh shit, probably should finish that.
I gotcha.
Not because I've gone, I need to do that again.
I'd like that. Now, Sims podcaster to Sims podcaster, welcome to the Sims podcast community.
Thank you.
How's the ride been?
It's good. I think it's very difficult because we've never done podcasts really before. I mean, I was on Simmers Digest for quite a few months. I did a segment on there. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't that into the stat side of it. I just kind of, recorded my bit, sent it over. And so we don't really know what's like good. Do you know what I mean? Like if you get a TikTok and in a day it's had 1 million views, which by the way has never happened for me. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm not saying that's a common thing. You'd be like, that did very well. Yeah. Or if you had a YouTube video that had like 10,000 views overnight, you'd go, that's done very well. But with podcasts, and I don't know if it, we get Renee uploads them all. So she sent me a thing and she's like, we did this and it has this many listens. And I'm like, cool. I guess that's good. We don't know. And nobody leaves comments and stuff on it.
As I said, people even leave comments?
Well, we have it on YouTube. It's on Renee's YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So technically you can on there.
Not there.
But people mostly just sit and listen to it and go, and occasionally they'll send a message that's like, hey, I heard your podcast the other week. It was really cool. And they're on Discord or something. But the instant gratification is missing.
So that is what you call a slow burn for podcasts. I'll say I had no idea that people listened to my podcast until it started being like, oh, I listened to your podcast. It takes time to build a podcast audience. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It took almost 2 years. This podcast will be turning, technically by the time this podcast comes out, it will already be 2. But like going into it, it's been 2 years. And
luckily, I've got Renee's audience to basically lean on.
Yeah.
Renee she has over 4 times the amount of followers on TikTok than I do, and I have 50K. So it's there's a lot of people who follow Renee and want to hear everything she does, and we've kind of become a bit of a double act recently, just because we like hanging out.
Yeah.
So we do things, and we're like, hey, we should collab on a thing, just because then we get to hang out, and it'll be funny. And we're we go quite well together, and we make fun of each other, and we have a laugh, and we're quite silly, and I think people quite like listening to it.
Oh yeah. Hey, of course. Hey, everyone has a podcast. I love that. I think we need more Sims podcasts out there, because like there's been so many, but they fizzle out very quickly. Well,
I mean, they can be.
They can be. It depends on what you want to do. For Stassi, it's easy. It's so easy. Yeah. Everyone wants to be interviewed. It's awesome. It's great. Not in the first season. No one wanted to be interviewed. I'll fucking tell you that. Yeah, It was a pulling teeth to get interviewed. I now have all of my guests booked for season 3. I haven't even formally announced season 3. We are still into season 2. Season 3 is booked. There's a wait list to the wait list. You're in season 2. You're still season 2 has been going. I have been filming season 2 since last August. So Whoa. August of 2020. I'm still going till this year. I started filming this podcast when I was 28, and I'll be close to 30 by the time it's done.
Wow.
That's one season. That is one season of podcast. This is season 2.
Crazy.
I know. I'll probably be doing 100 episodes this one.
How do you quantify a series though? How do you know that it's not just ended by now? Like the season 1 is over.
Oh, because I had a season finale.
Oh, okay. So you just planned a certain amount, and you're like, I've done this many.
So I plan a filming schedule between X, Y, and Z. So how many months, whatever fits in there. So from the start to the finish. So yeah, that's basically how I did. So basically I went from, my goal was to go from August to April, but because there were so many people that wanted to come in the last minute, and I want to start experimenting with like new ideas and more topics that I want to talk about that are extremely important, I've extended filming for another 2 months. But come June, that's it. I'm done filming, which by the time this podcast comes out will be 4 months from then, from today to then. So come June, I'll be into the December podcasts.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's how
I was confused. We had some troubles with me booking my slot for this, because the kind of thing that my brain is very not good at, which is like, dates and organizing. I mean, to be fair, no. I'm actually quite good at that sort of thing, because I have to be for my work and stuff.
Of course.
But there was a lot of back and forth, because I'm just being a bit special at going, I don't understand.
No, that's okay. Hey, I hope you guys are able to join the podcast, the Sims podcast, the Sims podcast that I'll be filming in June. I hope you guys can join that, because I want to shed a light on all the other Sims podcasts out there.
As long as it's not on my birthday, and then I can.
I think it's June 10th or June 11th.
Then it's not.
And I go. There you go. Yeah, it's that's what's gonna be filmed that day. I'm reaching out to all the Sims podcasts, even Sims podcasts that don't exist anymore, just to come out there and to share the love of, let's get more Sims podcast creators. That there are so many YouTubers, there's so many TikToks, there's so much, but there's a kind of lack on the podcast side. So I just wanted to, shed the light of getting more Sims podcasters out there and creating your own podcast, because you can literally I tell everybody, they're like, what makes you so special that you've started a podcast?
No, you can just do
nothing. Everyone can start a podcast. I pay $15.99 a month to host it on RSS. Go nuts. Yeah.
Oh, we don't even do that.
Oh yeah. No, I pay premium.
We just upload it for free to Spotify and whatever.
Yeah, I pay premium prices, so it shows up everywhere.
Nice.
This podcast is everywhere. Like most of
we
my
should
listeners do not listen to it on Spotify. They listen to it more on Deezer and whatever the one that they listen to it on in Asia. That like yeah. No, this podcast is everywhere. Because it came out in 2021. All of my listeners actually were in Australia, and if you hear me going back and from season 1, you'll hear me thanking them from Australia. I was the 8th, like on the gaming charts for podcasts. I was 8th. And my first season, I was 8th. So I was like, holy shit, this is a big deal. And then I got more listeners that way. And as I've continued on and staying consistent as well, I mean, that plays a huge factor in it too. People know like there's a podcast every Wednesday.
Oh,
they know that.
Me and Renee started at 1 a month. And then people were like, are they going to be a bit sooner than that? And we're like, so we're now trying to get it more like every 3 weeks. By the time this comes out, we may have just given up because of the kind of people that we are, but I hope not.
But
I hope we're still doing it because it's really fun. It's called Guilty as Sim. If anybody wants to look it up,
I was literally just about to self-plug you, but like, go check out Guilty of Sim. Don't take down your podcast, even if you don't do it anymore. Keep them up.
Take it down. We don't take it down.
Yeah, so everyone can listen to it. But Peafrog, unfortunately, I do have to wrap up. I want to thank you so much for coming today. Why don't you tell
having me?
Of course. Why don't you tell everybody where we can find your work?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm called Peafrogsims everywhere, apart from Discord, but don't worry about that one. So you can find me on Twitter, and you'll find a link to all my other links. TikTok is where I'll be doing most of the stuff. So if you're going on Twitch or YouTube and wondering why there's no content there, go to TikTok because that's where I'll probably be posting it. Yeah, come say hi to me on Twitter, whatever. I'm on there most of the time.
Well, I love it. Please go check out Peafrog. Links are going to be below. Thank you so much for coming here today, and thank you for teaching me some old dogs some new tricks, especially about the McDonald's voice competition. That was fucking amazing. Best story I've ever heard.
It's a very weird one. I love that. It's one of my favorite weird stories.
I fucking love that. But anyways, Peafrog, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please go check her out. Please go check out the podcast, their podcast as well, Guilty as Sims. The links are going to be below. Please go support also Project Renee, Hip Renee. Go listen to that podcast as well, and have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.